all that stuff. There's no measurements on there. But if you find something that you know what the size is, you can extrapolate to everything else. So
that's when Robin Curtis was here in Savick from Star Trek 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was here. She'll be back. And the Borg twins from Voyager just came a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's cool. That's great that they come up here.
all these wall panels are 4x8, pretty much. You know, except for the specialty places where it's not.
Oh,
so,
I see that. Yeah,
they're all 4x8.
And the red piece would be the next one up.
Yeah,
I see it.
they're all 4x8.
I didn't see the seam.
So you build you do your design based on that and make the cuts where you need, but you don't cut every board and you build from that, and that's how you design. Now, from our standpoint, knowing that, you can extrapolate everything else and know this corridor is 8 feet wide. You know the transporter platform is, I don't know, 10 feet across. The pads are 18 inches. You can extrapolate, and that's how they did that to build this. Which is just incredible. Way smarter.
We're at the Nutrisome on the Enterprise, getting a
How
tour.
long is this corridor? How long do you think it is? How far do you think it goes? Think about what the Enterprise looks like. It's round up front, right? How far do you think it goes? I think it's 120. I think it's 120. But it's another great thing about the original design.
These were the doors that they open and close when
And then you back them
come
up to
through.
here, camera down there, and show them coming down the corridor.
Oh, we can't see that side yet. We're not going to get ahead of it.
Down the corridor, you take some of these things, you switch the signs around.
Hi, Mr. J. We're live on the Enterprise. There's Leonard McCoy's office. Dr. McCoy, Bones.
It's a lot of
As people move, I'll show you more.
That's how you sell the illusion that you're in this big ship. You pass the same door maybe 4 times.
Danny, we're on the Enterprise. We're getting ready to see Bones' quarters.
Okay, well, at the end of that episode, they're chasing each other. So there are long scenes of them running down the corridor. And it's all the same. We don't have that much corridor. We have a little hallway here. We got a little section up there and a curve. That's it. But it showed them like for 5 minutes running down the halls chasing each other. And you never see the same thing twice. Yeah. Back and forth, switching the camera. We're going to step into sickbay. As we go in, though, I want to tell you.
Okay, everybody, we're going in the sick bay.
And what you would have seen in the 60s. Inside the front door, there's an overview printed of what our set is. You go take a picture of whatever, and then sometimes look up the Star Trek sets. The two differences are engineering was not there in the 60s. The only reason ours is because, like I said, we didn't have that part of the building when we built these sets. We didn't have engineering. It was built later. That's one of the differences. This is part of the second difference, and I'm going to get into that more in a few minutes. But other than that, this is going to be spot on. So I want everybody to come on in here to sick bay. Come back on this side.
Damn it, Jim.
It is from the Robin ship. All the way up to over there, if you would. And there's a specific reason I'm
It's not a convention.
like I said in engineering, you can't
This is sick bay. I'm sorry. Oh, look, remember? There's the little button thingies. That's when they call the circle thing. Thank you.
From over here, this is the iconic shot that you always saw of sickbay. From over here, or from over here when somebody was coming in the door. But these are the shots that you always saw. Is these views right here.
Excuse me.
Sometimes they do a third row here.
Sometimes, and they'd stick it. They just have
Right, and then they would
you
shut
could
it.
see it like where Spock and his dad were both in the bed, and Kirk got stabbed in the
Yeah.
back. They had to use that third
Journey
bed
to
then.
Babel.
How'd you get the fabric? We'll talk about that. When they did Star Trek,
We're in sick bay on the Enterprise.
look at this fabric over here.
I
They got
know.
ready to film, and they needed this fabric's not made anymore. So they found this. If you put a light on it,
Peggy.
see, it's just checkered orange and
Peggy.
gold. Nothing special
We're in
about it.
sick bay on the
If you're
Enterprise.
reminiscent of Star Trek, and if you're gonna make your own little Star Trek film, it's passable. It's not correct, but it's passable. You know, everybody goes, okay, they got the checkered fabric or whatever.
I'm gonna show you guys.
But it's
Look.
not quite right. Not quite right. So after a couple episodes, they found I just lost the word of what kind of company does fabric stuff.
I know there's Southern California.
I can't think of the term, what it's called.
Yes, we are.
Textile company, thank you. A textile company that was willing to work with him and custom weave fabric. So went through a lot of iterations. Vic likes to talk about the hated it because he would say, well, no, they're too rectangular. They're not, the orange parts are square, the yellow parts are square also. But the yellow parts are supposed to be skinnier and they're only supposed to touch on this corner or whatever, and they had to go back and forth, and they got it right. So they made a big supply of it for STC. Now we had our fabric, and it's got the right sheen. Look at that, the way the light plays off it.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody come take my temperature.
It's really uncomfortable though. It's really itchy. But it's gorgeous. Another cool innovation they came up with was the bio bed, right? This whole thing, you lay on the bed, the sensor picks you up and puts your readings on here. Well, in the 60s, of course, this wasn't, well, it was a plastic lit up panel. These were either little pieces of wood, probably on a little piece of plastic, or they had slits in here with guys in the back moving them up and down. So if you died, a guy just went, and now you're dead. Now it's all CGI. But before that, there's a guy at the back moving this stuff around.
That's
Really
great.
low-tech solution. Didn't cost him a thing. The guy was probably already on the payroll anyway.
That Griffith's
Go back and move the stuff. You don't have to do anything special for that. Michael Forrest laid right here. Apollo. Isn't that cool? Is he still alive? He is. Yeah. His wife just passed away last year.
Wow.
Yeah, that was good. Here's an interesting tidbit about both the original episode and the episode in Star Trek Continues. The episode was called Who Mourns for Adonais, right? Which is a line,
Do you all remember that?
from a poem.
Oh, I remember that one.
But that's a line from a poem. The Star Trek Continues episode was Pilgrim of Eternity, which is another line from that same poem. It's kind of a clever. I'm into good, clever names, titles and things. I hate people that just let.
That's what I said walking in. Damn it, Jim.
Star Trek produced a lot of things. They got a lot of things right.
He's gonna beam us up around.
Yeah.
Kirk had a little computer at his desk too, remember?
Yeah.
Gary 7 or Khan sitting here reading the ship's library in the little computer with the little data cartridges that look kind of like floppy disks. Pretty uncanny.
And the communicator,
Communicator.
flip phone.
It's like with the guys that
Yeah,
really
one.
built the real things years later. It's like they had a shortcut because they already had a hint of what a design could work. So it's like, why reinvent something? I already see this. What if I build that, but just make it work?
Yeah.
But I already know what I want it to look like now, so you skip part of your design phase. You already got something in mind. George Lucas, Gene Roddenberry hired a
His
company,
son comes here
which was an R&D company, and he would take
and
their
does
idea
tours here, Peggy.
to say, is this feasible? And they would say yes, no, or if it is, how would it look? Or how could it look? And if it's not, what would you have to tweak to make it work? And did that in coming up with ideas for Star Trek, whether it be the transporter, the biobed. Ironically, I know the military and people are working on this kind of stuff now, but they also were trying to come up with something like this in the 60s. There's stories that the Star Trek production got letters from UCLA Medical
You never wear a red
asking
shirt.
them where they got their idea for this stuff because it's something that they had been thinking about and working on. But it's kind of like parallel. People are going to invariably come up with the same ideas across, a lot of different people. Because you look at how the world was, you look at how the world is, and you conjecture how it could be. Which is what science fiction writers do really great.
Gene was ahead of his time.
If you watch Star Trek Continues, there's a scene where Spock and Kirk get into a fight. And I just like to point this out because it's funny, but this is Captain Kirk's makeup smudge on the wall where his face hit the wall. It's kind of funny. You have any other questions about sickbay? Oh, Let me point out something about this Romulan bridge. So this was used, we had a Romulan, this is part of the Romulan bridge set that was used in Star Trek Continues. You know, remember Spock's little thing he looks in on the bridge, how it's got the light shining up at him? Well, this doesn't have that. And we didn't really, you know, feel the need to wire it up or anything. So all they did was basically this. And you have the light on my face, right?
I make it any color.
That's, now I don't know if it was probably phones or maybe an actual flashlight, a colored gel. I don't know, but literally something that simple.
That's
Again, it's all about saving money, right? Saving money. Can anybody tell me what color Star Trek pants are?
What?
green. Green.
Navy?
Maybe.
They're shiny.
Polyester.
That's how
This
they
is about as
really
close as you
are.
can get. Now in the third season, they got a little less sparkly, but they always had some sparkle to them. Yeah.
Any
Everything
original
needs a
pants or any,
little sparkle.
uniforms
Just
still
a
around?
little.
Oh God, yeah. We went to the Greg Jane auction and looked at a bunch of original series
Yeah.
costume and all kinds of stuff we got to see. It was incredible.
Did you get any?
No, God no. It's man, a year of my pay maybe. Probably.
What about their boots?
Same thing.
This is not a real person, Tube World. It's a
By
dummy.
company called Western. When he finishes that tour, he's gonna come in and basically hook up with you guys, I believe. I guess they thought the future would be sparkly.
Yeah.
As we step out,
And there is
this area over here,
Shatner's makeup smear from the
this
fight
goes back to
scene.
the story about the differences in our sets. In Star Trek, this was the laboratory. Remember where he'd give Kirk a physical and he'd lay on the bed and do that thing with his feet? That would have
Oh,
been right
yeah.
here. And then next door to that would have been McCoy's office. Well, here's the thing. We didn't ever have an episode written where we needed a laboratory. So why build it? I mean, yeah, it would look cool and all that, but if you're a working set, you need the real estate.
Yeah. Always
And-
moving.
And if you build something there and then you need something else, what are you going to do? You're going to have to find more space. So we didn't build it because we didn't need to.
Makes sense. Look
I'm
at
going to show
this.
y'all what we ended up using this space for. This we picked up, this is original,
I'm getting ready to leave sickbay.
but from the
And I just want to give you guys a close up. Isn't that cool? Hold on, everyone. Yep. Shatner's makeup smear.
bright red doors, a lot of grays, a lot of,
And around sickbay one more time. Hey, Glam.
also, I think they did, no, I know they did the cage. One of these was the transporter. It wasn't the transporter that we see now, it was one of these. They sure did. Use what you have. We already had one of those.
If you shoot it the right way, you'll never know.
Exactly.
Except we knew.
Can I
Exactly.
touch this?
As a kid, I didn't know. What's that?
Can I touch the screen part? Is that just like a
It's just
material?
there. And you know, on
Oh, it
on
is a
some Star Trek
material.
episodes, this was here, and on others, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was there when it was needed.
I always thought it might be material, and it is. It's not
Oh,
like wood.
You know what? You know what it is? It is. It's the stuff from a guitar amp.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what model, but all Star Trek prop people do. They know what model
Oh.
guitar amp that came from.
Oh, I
Or
bet.
at least what brand. Maybe not model, because probably any given maker,
Mm-hmm.
all their products probably have the same screen over their grills.
Right.
But Star Trek prop people will know what type of amp that came from.
That's
Star Trek.
crazy. Look
Yeah,
at
it is
that,
amazing,
everyone.
isn't it? Here you see a picture from. Is that from Executive Trek over there?
We're going to get over that way. I'm trying. Hey,
That'll
Clam.
be out there.
How's
sometime
things
for
over
people
there?
to see.
She's in Germany.
Pretty neat.
Hi, Germany.
No,
Oh,
I'm sorry, Switzerland.
Switzerland. Wow.
Yeah.
People from everywhere. Well, we're glad everybody's here. Okay, you guys ready to move on across the hall?
Look,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, when I got you.
Is that not cool? You really can't. It's probably too bright to wear. Oh, there you go. Look at that. This is so cool. You guys gotta come here. It's called the neutral zone. This place is pretty nice. This is the set. Oh yeah. I gotta get back with the tour before I get in trouble. Look at me just running the halls of the Enterprise.
They needed everybody down to a plant, 400 people. How long was that? Take those 6 times.
Exactly. So, it was just a clever thing that the set designers did. It's just smart. You know?
We're gonna go to the transporter room. Yay!
Supposed to be telling the story of the giant ship.
Peggy,
Still really
Danny,
smart.
I'll pick you all up,
On the Star
Graham.
Trek blueprints, if you
Les,
look again
Nikki,
online,
come on.
look them up.
Where you wanna go? We're going to
You'll see a wall
transporter room.
like, you know, a line, that's the wall, and there'll be like a little arc drawn around it. That means it's what's called a wild wall, which means it was moving.
After the tour, we're allowed to walk around and take pictures and do whatever we
A
want.
lot of times,
So I'll cut it from there so we can get our personal videos and pictures done.
instead of just a wall. Sometimes the communicator will be there, sometimes not. These things floated all over the place. The door was put there in some instances because it was used inside this room and the door needed to be here. Other times, it had nothing to do with that. It's just because the director wanted something cool to look at when these doors opened. It just was something visual to see. And there was a lot of that went on. A good example, well, no, I'll tell you that later. I was going to tell you something about a camera angle, but we're not going to go there yet. Everybody come on into the transporter room.
I'm coming, guys. We're going in.
Oh, yeah, we'll be in the
Girl, you know how big my mouth is. You know I gotta whisper in here. I'm not trying to get locked up.
Anybody know what that's a picture of?
Wedding. Wedding in there.
Yeah, constellation.
Oh my God, wait till we get the pictures done and you guys see these later. I'm gonna do shorts and put them up.
Come back through, you're gonna be able to come up, you can take pictures, you can come up here.
Oh.
I
I was looking at that. I wasn't looking at trying to think it was staring in your face.
So the transporter room. You've heard this saying that necessity is the mother of invention, right? So when they're making Star Trek, they've got to come up with a way to get everybody to the planet so they can start the story. Well, they can't land the ship every week. Now, everybody, okay, it's a model and all that, but there's still extra filming, compositing, and all that special effects that have to be done to make it look like a ship is landing. And they didn't want to do that every week, because remember, what we talked about was the biggest factor?
Money.
Money. Money. You gotta save money. So what can we do? We can't film the ship landing every week. What else could we do? How else can we get them to a planet?
Magic.
We put them in a shuttlecraft. But now we gotta move and go to another set and do that.
Tell
Film them in the shuttlecraft and have something for them to talk about. Well, no, we want to get the characters to the planet, get the story going, right? So what if we just had a way to turn them into energy and send them out and send them somewhere? And teleportation stuff had been around in science fiction for a while. So these guys.
This is from the actual set.
So they're just trying to solve a budget problem. Keep the bill low. And in trying to solve a money problem, they created one of the most iconic things ever, because there's nowhere on the planet, I think, where people don't know what beam me up means. And these guys were just trying to solve a budget problem. But everybody knows what beam me up means. Everybody. And that's just so cool to think of, that it was just some guy trying to solve a problem.
Boo.
You know?
What's the cylinders?
Well, that's what I was going to tell you next. Remember we talked about we're going to use what you can find. So we're on a movie studio lot, right? What are you going to find on a movie studio lot?
Old lights.
Lights that have lenses. Use the Fresnel lenses for movie studio lights. Those were all over the place, so got them to use them. That'll look cool. Let's do that.
Stand on them.
You can stand on them.
We got here early and they let us join the tour.
This futuristic swirly moire stuff.
See, this was always behind that you barely ever saw.
By the way, and this is what was used in the 60s. Anybody tell me what they think that stuff
See?
is? Looks like it, but it's not. Any musicians in here?
Oh, is that the pick? The ivory from the picks or something?
No. Any drummers?
Oh, hell no.
It's the drum press.
Drum on my balls.
Oh, that makes drums that pearlescent look.
That pearl like.
It was the same thing then as it is now. And yeah, I was an adult before I learned that too.
That was on the actual set. See, I told you all.
It looks cool, doesn't it? This is just something, I don't know what this was, but this is what it looked like. So Vic did it in Photoshop, he took it to a guy, they printed it on with linoleum, and they just mounted it on here. A funny story about this pop emitters, or whatever you call them. When they were getting ready to film, you see this, it's this corrugated type of material. It's not just flat, and this is what it looked like on Star Trek. Well, they were ready to film, and Vic came in one day, and you could see some light leaking through up here. He's like, okay, we got to fix that. He just put some tape inside it.
Keep it up, VTX. I'll transport you and Peggy here. And Nikki and Danny. How many platforms I got up there?
So they were plagued by the same problems. They had the same thing. But, nobody back then thought that we were going to be scrutinizing Star Trek 55 years later. Nobody expected that. It was a TV show like any other. But of course, we Star Trek fans were pretty picky.
Murphy better have stayed where he was.
You what?
An observant bunch.
An observant bunch. I was going to say just critical, but so back to the lenses, though. Here's the thing: they cost a couple of $1,000s each. Well, when it came time to build this place, we don't have that kind of money, but we did have one of them. So. Made a mold of it.
Oh, there you go.
Then we just do a resin mix, let it cure, take it out, do another one. These 6 of them, we have 6 transporter pads that cost us the cost of the resin and the cost of the silicone. And we can still make more. These are getting kind of old, so we're probably going to maybe cycle these out, maybe put them up on eBay or something, raise some money for the studio, because these were screen used. Look, Ferrigno stood here. For God's sakes.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty incredible, isn't it?
Oh, really?
But we got, for the cost of something we already had, we have 6 more, and we have as many as we need that are going to cost us the cost of a box of mix.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep that bill down. What else was I going to say about the let's see. Am I missing something about this room? I don't think that I am.
You all know what wall would be missing? If they were
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, what wall would be gone?
It would be back over here.
that wall.
Let me ask you, are the angles right on that back panel? Wouldn't it be more over this way?
No, they are. What
It's just the way they were shooting that it looked like that.
What you may be thinking of is, and if, you'll see this on blueprints, if you look them up, they'll be like Journey to Babel is one particular blueprint, and another one. This thing moved all over the place.
That was a Klingon.
And it's shown that way on blueprints. Sometimes it's more of at an angle, sometimes it's further back, and it also depends on what was supposed to be in the camera shot.
Oh, yeah, on the scene.
Sometimes, to get the right focal length or whatever, when filming from back here, this thing may have been pushed up 2 feet, for all I know, just so that what was in the camera looked right. It didn't matter where it was supposed to go. It's what the director wants to see in the camera.
Right.
So it was all over the place. But yeah, no, these angles are right. It's odd, isn't it?
It is.
It is
It
odd.
is. I would have pictured that back panel more over, a little bit more this way.
And it's probably because of the episodes where, again, this
Maybe it
moved
was in
and
one, yeah.
changed your perspective. I used to wonder when I first got the blueprints, because I used to draw. I still have my little spiral notebook where I would draw, because the blueprints, they were this big, and I would look at them, draw them, like the transporter room, I'd draw it like this big. And I thought it was funny how you'd have a wall, but when you got to the door, the wall got real thick. And I always wondered why that was. It wasn't until I came here that I realized it's because The guy has to walk back in this wall, pull the rope for these doors.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
And every room in here has doors that are openable. Openable?
Oh, there you go.
Operable.
Perfect.
And a guy has to get in there to pull the
He
rope.
talks like me.
That's
I
why
love
the
it.
walls are so thick at the doorways. That's the only reason they're so thick at the doorways. It's just funny that it took seeing it in real life to make you realize that. Funny little story, personal story for me. We were up here doing some maintenance, Vic and I, for about a week between a film shoot and one of the fan weekends. We were cleaning up and just doing a lot of stuff. And in particular, this particular day, I was in the transporter cleaning up a lot of these pads. And somewhere along the way in the last couple of years, somebody had put these little silicone feet like you would put under a slab of glass on a coffee table, little silicone things. I don't know what you call them. And they put them under the lenses. And I was cleaning those off. We were re-gluing them down. And I was pulling them off and I was setting them here. Touching up, with a Sharpie, paint, touching up all this stuff, cleaning up all the mess. So it got time for the end of the day, we were going to go eat. So we were locked up, turned off the lights, walked out the door, went to the hotel, changed clothes, cleaned up. I got to the hotel, so I just left this room. I'd been working in here for about 4 hours that particular day. I get to the hotel, while I'm changing, I turn on my TV in the room, and Star Trek's on. And I don't know what episode it was, but when the screen came on, it was a shot of the transporter room from back there, like somebody was beaming out on the show. And when it came on, my eyes went over to here,
Looking for the feet.
looking for the things that weren't there. and I knew they weren't, but my eyes were drawn there, and it's such a surreal thing because I just left that room. I'd been in that room for the last 4 hours, and I just left 10 minutes ago.
Deja vu.
And it's the weirdest thing that I've ever had happen here, other than just thinking of it as a real ship. When we say, where's the pliers? Oh, they're on the bridge. Well, I think of the bridge as the bridge, not the set. It's the bridge.
Is this actual, it didn't go all the way around?
That's correct. That's exactly how it was. I don't know why. I think, again, it's just an aesthetic choice to make something interesting. It doesn't need to be completely symmetrical. Why doesn't the opening of the chamber face the transporter console? I don't know. I think it was just a choice to make something interesting.
And it gives you that effect of them disappearing.
Well, yeah. Now, you guys want to know how they beam people?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, who wants to beam?
I do.
Okay, both of you get up here.
Hi.
Oh,
Okay,
come on.
Get up here. Come on.
Come on.
Get up here. Well, no, wait. No, first. You got to go over to the doorway. But, and you know what they say when they're beaming, right?
Beam me up, Scotty.
Hey, did you know that?
It's never been
Did you
said.
know that was never ever spoken?
Yep.
Beam me up, Scotty was never ever spoken. Scotty, beam me up. Beam me up. Gentlemen, beam me aboard, whatever. But beam me up, Scotty.
Get me the hell out of
Never
here.
spoken in Star Trek. Fun fact.
Yep.
That's okay, Ty. It's one of the, what do they call it, the Mandela thing?
Yeah,
where you think
look,
you
I
swear
believe
that
it,
was true.
Oh, yeah.
But no, beam me up, Scotty was never spoken. So you say energize when you're ready to leave the ship. So what you did, you had a camera shot, a couple of camera shots. We're going to have a camera shot of you walking in. Say action. You walk up onto the pad. Action. Go.
Action.
You walk up. Now I may followed you walk up. It may, depending on the show, I either followed you and then I yell cut and then I go to a different camera. But now I got a camera aimed at you and it's locked, which means there will be no movement of this camera at all, which is very important. Okay, so I'm locking my camera on you. Now, you've already said energize, and I'm going to call you, and you stay perfectly still once you're there. Action! I'm filming with locked camera. I'm filming, totally motionless.
Say bye-bye to her.
Cut! Okay, step off.
I'm sending her up in
My
pieces.
camera's still here. I'm still locked.
Do.
Action! I'm filming. Now cut. And I cut the camera. So, now I've got two pieces of film. What's the only difference in those two pieces of film?
You need to have the.
She's missing. Well, but it's the same film. The camera's locked. It's the Same thing, but she's missing in one of them. So you run the two, you crossfade over, nothing else changes because the timing of the flash is the same. Nothing changes except for as I crossfade, you fade out and you're gone. Now I hand it over to an effect.
It's coming.
Which, by the way, let's back that up a step. We're coming up with Star Trek.
VTX, what button do I press?
The first
Help
script.
me.
Here's
I
the
need
script.
you. Help
You're
me.
the set guy, you're a VFX guy, you're whatever. Okay, now let's read through here. Okay, so-and-so walks into the transporter room and beams down. What does that look like? Somebody had to come up with what that looked like. Just think of the task there. These guys were like, what?
Especially in the sixties with
In the
the top, when the
60s.
special effects.
Drop a little bit of acid. They figured it
So
out.
anyway, so there's that. But now that they got it figured out, you hand the film off to you. I hand the film off to you. You go, now what you have to do is you see her fade out, but before she fades out on that part of the film, you basically draw an outline around her, and then you do the optical stuff to put in the sparkles, and then they do what's called a matte. And a matte means it's just like what you think. If I put my hand here and sprinkle glitter on the floor, move my hand, there's an outline where my hand was. The same thing, but in digital, well, it wasn't digital back then, but in film stuff. I don't know how to describe it any better than that. But you make a matte and put the sparkles in. The sparkles also crossfade in and out, or expand, or whatever. Your image fades out, now you're gone. That's how you beam somebody out. That's how they did it in the 60s.
So that's how they did it with, how did they exactly make that?
The sparkly stuff,
Yeah.
there's different things. Some people say, talk about glitter in water. I've heard like on Next Generation where it's that white thing that it was salt. I've heard different things. I'm not sure on Star Trek, but I think it had something to do with some glitter, maybe some water floating around, maybe filming from the bottom, I don't know. But just something. And it was something, whatever it was going to be simple,
And
low budget, but it would have been filmed from an angle that you wouldn't necessarily see.
yeah.
A good example is that. Remember the big mothership? that
This
came out?
place is so cool. If you guys can get over here in Georgia, do it.
Big rolling clouds.
It was a $20 donation. That's all it was to get in here per person. This place is great.
And slow down. So that billowing stuff was the other kind of, the other liquid. There was a different thickness than the water. Filmed from underneath and slowed down. So it's simple things like that, and the way you film them changes your perspective on it, and then it's something you don't know what that is. It may even look a little familiar, but you don't know. You know? Any other questions about the transporter room?
Let's go.
Okay?
Where can we go?
Oh, let me just tell you, when you guys come back, you don't want to miss out. You need to get a picture of yourself standing here. You also need to get a picture of yourself throwing the switches. You know, everybody wants to go, "Woo," and you can make your own sound effects if you want. We won't laugh at you because we all do it. we all make our own sound effects too. Okay, come on out.
If I get cut off of here on this, I will come right back being live. So just look for me as we leave this. And we're going here. This is where sometimes they have doors.
We got a couple folks, we'll wait.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, we're good. We just don't want you to miss anything.
Yeah, imagine being in a hot.
You can come back at any time and.
Gotta get the stories though. Gotta know what's going
With
on.
makeup. Okay. Remember we talked about the transporter section sign? What does it say?
2.
2, which means there's got to be at least one more. At least one more. Just another clever thing that was on Star Trek. Without looking, I couldn't tell you what the sign always said. For all I know, they had 3 or 4. I don't know if they changed it. They probably did, but I just couldn't swear to it. But whatever. If you saw the one that said 2, you're probably not going to remember it the next time you saw it what it said. I was obviously don't. So come on into the briefing room.
What do you guys think? I love it. Oh my God.
Will Smith made these. William Smith, who had to do with a lot
Look
of.
at this.
He runs there's a website called tosgraphics.com. That's his site. He comes up with all these blueprints for all this stuff. Okay,
Aw,
the briefing
this
room.
is
A cool thing about this room is it was used for a lot of different things. It was the rec room. You know, where they had the 3D chess and the little round tables.
Oh,
The
yeah.
food replicator over on the wall.
Yeah.
Which we have that panel somewhere. He just goes and you stick it up front of the wall. It was also used as the ship's chapel in 2 episodes. Do you remember when I told you that sometimes out the transporter room door you could see a door here that was just because it looked cool? Well, there were 2 episodes when this was the chapel. The door was here. The wall was there. Again, wild walls. They just moved the section. Put a door here. Put a podium up here. Kirk stood up here at the podium. Put a couple of Federation flags behind him. And he's going to marry that couple before the Romulans attack.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
standing right here with a wall behind him. Doors over there.
Yeah.
Comes in. Little benches out there. The crew sitting there.
Right.
Same thing when, remember the Tholian Web where Kirk got sucked into the other dimension. They kept seeing him floating around in the space.
Yeah.
They had the memorial for the captain, and Spock stood up here and said, "We must accept that the captain is dead." The chapel. Same room, just redressed.
Wow.
What wall would never be here in this room? Think about watching Star Trek.
That one.
That wall. Unless there was a scene where they had to do a reverse angle, then it would be there. But other than that, you're going to be filming from basically inside the captain's quarters over here to get a long shot of the whole room. This table itself moved all over the place. You'll watch episodes where that computer's down here. You'll see it where it's at an angle. You'll see it in all kinds of locations. All over the place.
Oh, yeah.
I think this might be, or this is probably Luan. And I don't know if Luan's a new invention or not, but I'm sure it was plywood or something.
Back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, and it might have been topped with some kind
They
of
don't move. Oh, that one does. Uh-oh.
Another kind of ingenious thing is the view screen.
Yeah.
It was just kind of neat. It's a neat aesthetic choice that they made it 3-sided instead of 4. But you know what? That saved something. Some amount of money was saved in not creating a 4th side for this. But it's also just a cool look, I think.
Yeah.
It's also,
Um,
it's the 3 sides. It's Trinity.
Everybody can see it.
Back in the
But
60s,
think of the
these
numbers.
were everywhere. You go to Radio Shack and buy a box of them if you wanted to. Now, you can find toggle switches. You can't really find these kind of rocker switches anymore. So, the ones that we had, we wanted to save for other things like the bridge, and I think a couple in engineering work. So what we did, we just molded them. Made little molds.
Oh, okay.
Painted them. Oh no, they're poured molds. They're like resin.
Oh, okay.
Molded the real thing and just made these, painted them. Cool thing is, you can put it back in the other way to look like some are turned on, some are turned off.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you're like, but okay, you guys haven't seen Star Trek Continues, but like, you know what? I've seen them push the buttons in here. But think about this. Watch me. We're doing a scene. Captain Kirk. Kirk here. Did I push a button?
It looks like you did.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it? But did I push a button? I don't know. Here's the other thing. They put that click in there.
Yeah.
It totally sells the illusion. Now, one more thing past that. If you're looking at whether I pushed that button or not, what are you not doing?
Watching you.
Space.
Well, you're not following the story, are you?
Yeah.
You're not in the story. The great thing about these sets and why we had to make them so accurate, on Star Trek is they just made them and that was the first thing. We were having to copy stuff. And the reason we strive to make it so dead on accurate is because you need to look at the set when a scene starts and you accept where you are. I'm in the briefing room. Now I give you permission to tell me a story. You see the set, you accept it, you forget it. But if this thing was not shaped right or too tall or whatever, you'd be watching the scene, and you're watching the scene, and you're what? It's gonna bug you.
Yeah.
It needs to be perfect. You accept it. You forget it. It needs to be perfect so you can forget about it. Seems like a contradiction, but that's exactly
this.
I was gonna say, what is that?
It's coffee urn, but I mean, I don't know if that's accurate to what was in Star Trek. I'm sure it is absolutely not. It's just something we've used in films. But there were scenes when they had coffee in the briefing room. Coffee on the bridge.
Oh, no.
And I couldn't tell you what one of those
Did I
looked like.
do
I don't remember. But this looks kind of futuristic a little bit.
It does.
Back to that mid-century modern look that they used. we talked about that book, right? Mid-century, designing the final frontier, designing the final frontier. One other thing I want to tell you about this table. It's an odd shape, isn't it? And everybody's been in a conference room, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're usually like a rectangle, maybe an long oval, so you can, not have to lean past people to see whatever. Why do you think it's this shape? There is a reason.
Gives room for the camera.
What does it look like for you? That's not bad. but
Wait.
What does it look like?
Looks like it's,
Come on, Spock, help me.
Buffet?
you have a space for somebody to sit over there with a machine.
Well, that's true. Those are all true. There is a very specific reason why it's this shape, though. And I'll give you a hint. When I give you a hint, within 2 seconds, somebody's going to get it. Gene Roddenberry had always said that Starfleet was to be modeled after the Navy.
Oh, the kind of shoe holder.
An aircraft carrier. That's right.
Yeah.
It's an aircraft. It was made to honor that. Matt Jefferies, the set designer for Star Trek, was an old Navy man.
Oh,
As were a
no.
lot of people. And Gene Roddenberry, everybody was military back then. But he was a Navy man. Interestingly enough, at the time, there was a fleet of aircraft carriers named Farragut, Constitution, Intrepid, Enterprise.
Oh, wow.
The 12 names of the starships were lifted directly from that.
Ah.
Does anybody know what NCC stands for? If you're a real Trekkie, it's still an obscure question. You'd have to read like the old blueprints to know that one. It's NCC 1701. Naval Construction Contract. According to the blueprints, that's what that's supposed to stand for. Because again, it was all meant to kind of honor the Navy.
Hi, Lewis. Hi, Victor.
Yeah, another thing that I think that I've never read, but we talked about camera angles and what looks good in camera. I also think that it had the added, I know it had the added benefit of just making...
They come and they shoot in here fan stuff. So this is an actual working set for Star Trek.
Pay no attention to the Klingons in the briefing room. But it's an interesting look, right?
Very. I figured it was just because having to shoot around it with the angles.
Well, it's interesting. It's something that looks cool on camera. Later on in the corridor, we're going to talk more about camera angles and things like that. You guys have any more questions about the briefing room?
What's that cable shape so weird?
It's an aircraft.
Aircraft carrier.
Okay, well, let's come on out.
Oh my God.
If we want pictures, just let us know. Give me a second. Because by that time, they know how to fix the ice.
Okay.
Is it playing on now?
Penguins are far more fun. You don't have to be stiff like the Federation.
There you go.
I'm part of the Star Trek International.
Oh,
This is that
Hi.
place where you saw Chekhov hiding in the corridor.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you see the close-up shot of this mesh, which is how we know this is what they really use, because Chekhov's behind here, waiting for that Klingon woman, and you see this in great detail in that shot.
Day of the Dog, yeah.
Funny thing, when they were getting ready to start filming here, Vic was here a day early, walking through and doing a check, and he walked past here and stopped, and he realized there's supposed to be a yellow ladder in here. They forgot to fill it, so he rushed off to Lowe's, bought some broomsticks, cut them up, painted them, tacked them together, put a sign up that said, "Do not step on this."
Yeah.
And it was here for at least an episode. I don't know how many, but you know what? You'd never know. It's all about what the camera sees.
Yeah.
Real one now.
I forgot to mention. I often tell people, because some people walk in, there'll be a chip on the wall, a smudge, and it's like, well, this is a working set for one thing, but this is what you would have seen. We're not saying you're on a starship. You're on a set.
Right.
And this is what you would have seen. You would have seen imperfections. Remember, these guys had to throw that stuff together. They had to maintain it. all the buttons on Sulu's station aren't the same color from episode to episode because you know what? Those things fall off. Somebody goes grab some out of a bag and glue them on. I don't care if it's blue or red. Oh, it was red last week. Nobody cares about that because who's going to notice?
There were several fight scenes where you could see all the shoe marks on
Yeah,
the
the
floor.
scuffs.
Sure. Before the fight
Before
even
the fight.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, particularly with the Andorian, or the fake
Yeah.
Andorian that stabbed Kirk in
Yeah.
the back.
Yeah.
You see all the scuff marks all over.
I
the
was
floor.
thinking Doomsday Machine, Matt
Doomsday
Decker
Machine,
and
Matt
Security
Decker.
Chief,
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
exactly right. Everybody knew, so Grant Imahara from Mythbusters played Sulu in Star Trek Continues. When he passed away in 2020, this is what Ray and the studio did to honor him. And it's supposed to be like Sulu's serial number, because there was a couple of series episodes original where you hear Kirk and Spock's serial number, and it was SC, blah, blah,
Right.
blah, CEC. So they just kind of put that within, but it has his birthday and his death date for the year.
A little
Just a really
epitaph.
cool, classy tribute.
Yep.
That's pretty neat. Okay, we're gonna come past another plant on.
We're doing lots of pictures later.
Kind of electrical stuff, I don't know. Okay, where we're gonna come now is the other part of when I said we're different. Remember I talked about how in the original series, you had sickbay, the laboratory, and McCoy's office. Well, we didn't have any scripts that called for that, so we didn't build it. But we did need several other things, so come on in here. We did a show where we needed an auxiliary control, so we did build that later on. Come on in.
Are you guys still with me? Uh-oh. We're going in. We're going in, guys. Hold on.
The chairs that the Brady Bunch sits in at their breakfast table are the Star Trek chairs. Really? But they're what they really look like. Star Trek fixed them up.
Thank
When you
you.
watch the Brady Bunch at their little kitchen table, they're sitting at, I don't know if it's this model, but they're sitting at a Burke table with 4 Burke chairs around it. Or whatever, I guess 6, I don't know. So this is our basically swing set. So Lolani, the Green Slave Girl, we needed a guest quarters. Well, guess what? We don't have a guest quarters. So we built one. We put some drapes up in here, put a bed in here, filmed from certain angles. Now we have a guest quarters. We did a show where we had Aaron Gray, and we needed a Commodore's office. Well, guess what? We don't have a Commodore's office. So we built one. We put this view screen up here, filled it in with made it white, and put her back to it so it wasn't like a view screen. It was just some feature of her office, had the name of the ship still in service or whatever. Put her desk here in front of it, filmed from over there. We had a Commodore's office. We needed an alien council chamber for episode 4. Guess what? We don't have an alien council chamber, so we built one. So we put some stuff over here. We tiled the floor because we didn't want the floor to be the same gray as the rest of the ship. So we put some tile on the floor. Again, filmed it from a certain angle. Now we have an alien council chamber. We did need an auxiliary control, so we built one. Here's that shitty ladder I talked about.
Oh, there it is.
This was auxiliary control and swing sets for Star Trek Continues. Since then, it's been used for a lot of things. We did a film in here where we needed a cargo bay. Oh, guess what?
We don't have
a cargo bay, so we built one. We brought a bunch of this stuff in here. We brought some crates in here. We put these pipes. We brought them from somewhere else in the set. Just brought a bunch of stuff in here. We dimmed the lights. We filmed from over here, so you didn't see any of this. This is our cargo bay. And since the action was taking place around this particular piece of cargo, it didn't matter that you were only seeing a room that was like this big. You don't know how big that area you're in is in. You're just filming around this one crate.
Are we gonna do the shuttlecraft?
We have a shuttlecraft interior. We do.
Oh, guys, wait till you see this little room.
They would slide out and look at. They have been broken over the years, but we have a shuttlecraft interior.
Pretty cool.
We do. Just more plantons. What are these? I don't know. I'm sure this doesn't even match anything. This is just
around your speakers or something.
something like that. This is just modern
Yes.
stuff. We just grabbed it, painted it, threw it on the wall. This is not a match for Star Trek, but
Isn't this cool?
again, we did the same thing that Star Trek did. Engineering, all that stuff that matches. This is just put together. Lou Ferrigno and Vic fought right here.
Ah.
And there's a cool thing, I don't know if you noticed in the sizzle reel where Captain Kirk goes and fly and kick, and you see the boots kick Lou Ferrigno and knock him down. Well, interesting about that, the way they filmed it, Lou Ferrigno's the Hulk and all that, but he's also 70-something years old. So they're like, I can't go drop kick Lou Ferrigno. So through editing, they had Vic run, jump up in the air from over there, and a mattress here. Turns out one wasn't enough.
Yeah.
When he hit the ground, he ended up with a bruise all the way down his side. One mattress was not enough for this concrete floor. Then they cut. Then Vic takes his boots off, puts them on his hands, and they say action. And it goes like this and stops. And then it cuts. And then you got Lou Ferrigno. They say, and they're filming him up close. Action. He goes, ah! Put all those three together, and you got Captain Kirk flying, leaping, the boots slamming into Lou Ferrigno, and Lou Ferrigno hitting the floor.
Did y'all have to pay Lou to come and film? Or did he do it just to do it?
I'm sure they paid his flight out here and all this. And no, we can't. None of that. All that's free. Everything was volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wanted to be a part of it. Everybody that came on Star Trek Continues wanted to be a part of it. Any other questions about this room? This is our set that saves our life and that saves our budget. Build stuff in here. We find what we can, we build it here. Any other questions?
They used that scene right there as McCoy's office or something.
No.
Didn't they?
We didn't.
No. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
No, anything we did with McCoy was, I don't know, they may have filmed something.
I don't know, I just like
We didn't have it
I
in McCoy's office
recognize
though.
that, yeah.
Okay, come on across the hall.
Yeah, isn't that great? The Brady Bunch tables. Wait a minute, who are we going into?
No, you are not alone. You are not alone.
It's so cool.
This is ready to crawl. Oh, sorry.
It's being kept.
Yeah.
It's so important.
The captain's quarters. This is where all the action happens.
This is where the magic is.
It is. According to Captain Kirk, anyway.
One green lady after the next.
You remember there was a scene where it came back from commercial and Kirk's sitting on his quarters. His boots.
The
girl
most
with
controversial.
doing her hair.
Yes.
Little implication there that there's some going on.
Somebody's happy.
60, whatever.
Yeah, it was a little. She's kind of boldly going.
Yeah. I can see the network.
I don't know about where no one has gone before, but. So, first of all, let me talk about this. Is a Star Trek chair.
Is it a Brady Bunch chair now?
It's a Brady Bunch chair now. Now, this one has been, before they finally came up with a way to make these without having to shave this lip off, this lip right here.
Oh, okay.
At some point here, because some of ours don't have this done, but at the time that this one was built, that's what they did. But this is a Brady Bunch chair. It's called a Burke. It's a Burke 115, B-U-R-K-E. And this is in that book. The Starian Brandy bottles, those are in that book.
Oh, yeah.
And no, those aren't the same glasses. It's a Burke model 115. I think they call it a tulip or propeller. Because there's another one that's the same chair, but with a round base instead of the little propeller thing. So they get ready to film, and they send a guy down to Kmart or Woolworth or whatever. Go pick us up some cheap chairs. These were sold as like little dinette set or whatever, like on the Brady Bunch. They bring back a handful of chairs. Now, did you notice that there were no chairs in the briefing room?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just move them
Move
around.
them around.
Yeah, because why would you put a chair every place in the set where a chair would go when you're not filming in there? You don't need, you need however many that's on the bridge. I can't think how many that is. That's how many you need, maybe with a couple of spares. That's the maximum amount you need. So that's all you make. So they go down and buy these handful of chairs for whatever it costs. Make a seat cushion for it. Make this little thing of wood, upholster it. Put that on here. Get some, I don't know, little scraps of wood or whatever they found. Somebody at some point for the very first one found something and thought, let's throw that on there for any time you see the back of the chair. It's different.
Yeah.
Because whatever real chair this is, that's not on it. And then paint it some obscure color that this chair was not available in. what would these have been available in? Probably off-white,
Orange and lime green.
orange, avocado,
Oh, don't forget that yellow color.
Yellow.
Golden something.
Golden
Yeah.
Harvest.
Harvest
Yeah.
gold.
Harvest
that's
gold.
harvest gold. So instead they make it robin's egg blue.
Blue. Yeah, there you go. Right.
That's a Star Trek chair, which is really just cool. Personal computer.
Yeah.
Now this thing was all over the place too. Sometimes it was here, sometimes it was here.
It was a lot of
sometimes
Is it
was out
getting
here. Again, it's all about the
jumpy?
director and what he wants to see. Sometimes this wall would have been missing in this room.
This one.
That one would have been missing. But it seems like sometimes this one was missing
This wall.
because sometimes I saw Captain Kirk sitting here and they were filming from over there.
Ah, Piggy Boo.
I see you. Yeah. Here's more of that stuff, that itchy stuff. I don't know if they actually, you can find them. I don't know if Dickel makes them anymore or not. But this is what the original George Dickel bottles look like. They basically dyed or painted the leather orange. At some point, they took a piece of orange just tape and stuck it on down the side of the bottle where it says George Dickel, so that the camera wouldn't catch that ever. But that's a Sorry I'm Randy bottle.
You can
Nice.
still find these in antique stores.
Yeah,
I
in
saw
antique
one,
stores
I
for
almost
sure.
bought it. and I
Yeah,
forgot
I've got one at home, and then they
Yeah.
also make one that's not quite as tall, the same bottle.
Yeah.
And I think they even make little ones.
Yeah.
But I've got that size, and I've got the little shorter one that Vic gave me actually.
In mirror, that would have been on this wall. That would have been that.
The thing, the Tantalus
Canvas
field.
field, right?
Yeah. This quarters it's the only one on the ship, right? So it was used for anybody that needed quarters. Was this room.
Spock and
Spock, they swapped, so the bed was over here, the desk was over there. Interesting thing about that I just noticed watching Star Trek the other day is the desk was the same. In other words, they didn't build a mirror version of the desk, so the angle, so that it looks different. The angle over there is the same as it is here. It's just over there. It's the same desk. But they just swapped the quarters around. They draped off this all stuff for Spock's bedroom. It was Uhura's quarters. Remember she saw Kirk floating in the mirror?
Yep.
It was
Yeah.
Janice Rand's quarters when Mirror Kirk tried to have his way.
Where's the mirror button? You know, like the little.
Well, like you said, it would have been on the wall. Was it on that wall or the one by the door?
I think it was by the door. What?
The Tantalus field. Was it the
No,
wall
it
over
was
there by
on
the
this
door? Was it
wall.
wrong?
I think it was on this wall over here.
Okay, I think
I
you might
really
be
do.
right, but I
I
don't
think it
remember.
was
But
right here.
yeah, it would have been one of these. Just
And
hung
it
up
just
over
slid
there.
up and then it was behind it, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the captain's quarters. It's a nice short bed, isn't it? That wouldn't work for me at all.
If you press a series of 4 keys
How
and
long
that
do you
opens,
need it
then
for?
I'll be impressed.
Right? Well, hey, what's the combination?
1, 2, 3, 4.
That always brings you back to that SNL skit, if you remember the skit.
Yes, I do.
Oh my God.
So the combination changed. Every episode you
Yeah.
saw it open, it was something different.
and
yeah.
Spock knew it, so it didn't matter. It was gonna.
Something interesting. Remember we talked about how wide the doorways are?
Yeah.
Because a guy needs to get back in there. Same thing with this. Although decoratively it works, being a divider between the rooms, but some guy had to climb up in here and reach in and grab something that was attached to this door to slide open
Yeah.
the safe.
Really?
Somebody had to climb in here, and when we get by the bridge, you'll see the hole that we have because we use this on STC.
Okay.
The safe is opened, I think in the last episode. Pretty interesting. According to the blueprints, that was supposed to be the bathroom in the quarters.
It's like cartoons, you never see the bathroom.
Exactly.
The next gen, I think they found.
And we don't need to know where the shit goes.
Right.
What's the dimensions of the building?
Well, it's 18,000.
Oh, hey, everybody.
For building dimensions.
Look at this.
I don't know.
You don't have any space left?
Not much. Well, we wanted to. We wanted to.
Oh my God.
That kind of fell through. Somebody else is getting.
Hi, everyone.
Plans for part of it. So we have a Guardian of Forever though. Full size Guardian of Forever. Yeah, we do. Okay, you guys have any other questions about the captain's quarters?
No.
Okay, come on out. Stop at the intersection.
Let's give it a whirl, everyone. Look, we'll come back in. Look at that. No ship in a bottle. I'm trying to go fast and keep up. I don't want to get in trouble. Okay, hold on, everyone.
And he turns around and Spock says, Captain, may I ask where you'll be? And he says, sickbay with them. That was right here. Right. They just put that wall communication panel there. That's where this was. You watch that scene? That's where it was.
Yeah.
The elevator.
That was still in the background, but the comm panel was here, yeah.
The comm panel was there. The elevators moved around. On the original set, there was an elevator down there also. They don't move around for us, but they had a couple. Then they had the one on the bridge.
You remember when you was a kid, did you ever get the Star Trek bridge set?
I still have it.
And when you twist
Oh, no, I didn't get that. I had the
the
model. I built the
one
model.
with the transporter room, and you put your little small replica of Captain Kirk and Spock, and you twist it.
We've got one up in, I don't know if it's in the merchandise area, but we have one. There's one in the building.
Really?
But I still have my model of the bridge that I built.
Wow.
One of these plantons, this is kind of interesting. What do you see on here that's familiar?
That's a little paint roller can.
Little
That
mini
looks like
paint
a
tray?
paint tray,
Yeah.
That's a
Drain for a shower?
PVC paste. Looks like for plumbing.
PVC,
Yeah.
pipe cut in half, electrical conduit box, a piece of wood.
Spray
With
painted.
another
There you
piece of
go.
wood stuck on it. A wheel from an office chair. Vic found a wheel, and when they glued it on here, and when they found the chair, he did not return the wheel. This looks cool.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about it, does anybody have an iPhone?
No. I'm an
Let me
Android
use your
person.
phone.
Uh-oh.
Turn on the camera and put it in portrait mode for me. Okay, now you stand right here and turn around and face me. Is that- yeah. Okay, so now look at the picture. We can show everybody. What's that behind you?
Like a cross.
Kind of blurry because it's portrait mode, but that's the way you would film. You would film because you would be in focus. What's that behind her? You don't know.
It's
Does it matter?
important, whatever it
Does
is.
it matter?
A uterus.
It's something interesting. You're not just behind a gray wall. A lot of times on Star Trek, I'm going to use you two. If I may, you stand back up. No, back up. No, this way, this way, this way, this way. You, right here. Okay, I'm filming a scene with them. Right, I'm the cameraman. We film a scene, the full shot, the two shot, and then we're ready for the close-ups now. So I'm filming. And I've got you. Now look through my hands. What do we have behind her?
One of those, yeah.
Something interesting. We have stuff on the wall back there. Now cut. Now we're going to film your close up. What do I got behind him?
Me.
He's got a gray wall. So they would either take something and move it, or sometimes they would even do this for his close up. And film the scene, and when you're watching it, you have no idea that he's not even standing in the same place. No idea at all. It's all about what looks good in the camera. So you're either going to move something, or you're going to move the actor.
And
Smoke
because
and mirrors.
you never really knew what deck they were on or what the arrangement of the things were on that deck, so you just didn't.
That's right, you didn't care. You didn't care. But all you knew was that it was a big ship, because when they walk down the hall, you don't pass the same thing twice,
Right.
because everything moved. Okay? Oh! Everything moved. Okay, come around this way.
That's Kirk. They're one of the actors here that do the Star Trek Continues. That's the captain. That was Kirk.
And for those
Yeah.
of you who are real nerds,
Him.
sometime go online, you can look up Matt Jefferies' like original design, kind of like the Ralph McQuarrie paintings of Star Wars. They were kind of, you could tell what it was C-3PO and R2, but it looked totally different. Some of, excuse me, his sketches are the same thing. They're real elegant looking. They're just pencil sketches, and you can see where the design came from, that they're slightly different, but they're really interesting to look at. The way he drew some of the rooms and layouts is just really cool. But the Jefferies tube was named after Matt Jefferies. Now, on old Star Trek, you never heard it called a Jefferies tube. That term didn't come in till later from fans, and probably the production people called it that, but they didn't call it that on the show. That didn't come about till Next Generation. And then it basically got the name, which was kind of cool for Matt Jefferies and his family and all that, to have an on-screen, thing named after him. That's pretty cool. But this is where all this access to all this important stuff happens. Scotty climbs up in here and fixes the ship. Can everybody see what's written on this pipe right here?
Well, it accesses portions of
GNDN.
it, yeah.
Somebody who doesn't know, try to guess what that stands for.
Goes nowhere, does nothing.
That's exact. Did you already know that?
Yeah.
Oh, I was telling you not to guess.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, goes nowhere, does nothing. That's exactly what it means, and that's what it meant in the '60s when they. That's what it meant in the '60s when they built it. Just a little bit of fun, but it looks like now not only is it an important piece of machinery, it's labeled to tell somebody what it does, and it turns out it does nothing. But it's just something fun to do.
I love how y'all built it. That's electrical box.
That's an electrical box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a wall.
And I don't know how dead on accurate all this looks, but it's
It passes.
pretty, it passes.
Yeah.
And who's to say that every Jefferies tube is gonna be the same
Yeah.
on a
Long
big
as
ship
it's
like
not
this?
Jacob's
True, there would be honor to these.
There would be 100 of them.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna have the same equipment in every
Nope.
one, right?
Nope.
So it doesn't matter what it looks like. You tell the story. Again, if you're thinking about that, you're thinking about the wrong thing. You're not following the story. Over here, we have the entrance to our hangar bay.
Oh, yeah. Which pressure doors?
You don't have a hangar bay. This is part of the shuttlecraft set right here, by the way.
The Coke machine
This
in
is
the
the
hangar.
part, the console that comes down between the seats. So, hangar bay.
Do I
Remember,
run away?
y'all haven't seen Lilani. So, there's a scene where Lilani, the green Orion slave girl, seduces a crew member to escape the ship, and they come here, and they're going to go into the hangar deck. So we put a green screen back here, and then we had a problem. All that showed up was the Orion girl's dress, right? Because she's painted green. So we had to move it and make it a blue screen. Thank God Spock wasn't in that show, or that shot, or we just had a little Spock head floating around.
Oh, that'd have been hilarious.
So we just put a green screen there. Same thing when they did a thing with people walking in. We just did a green screen behind them, and got rid of all this stuff. Kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, we're
Just
gonna
a
come
tad.
back down here a little further now. Call the elevator. Something interesting about the elevator, let me show y'all. And if you want to take pictures in here, you can't go past here, but what you want to do is stand here and take a picture, because
Was it that color or was it red?
what's that color?
Was it?
Because you don't want to take a picture of somebody in the elevator through the elevator doors, because that's not what you would have seen on the show. You would have been in the elevator with them. So stand over here and take your picture in the elevator. This looks cool. Little fun thing for your photos. Yeah, we try to get people to tell people when they're taking pictures. I'm like, okay, but take it from this angle, because this is what you would have seen on TV. So do it from this angle.
There you go,
Okay, come
everyone.
on around the corner here.
It's the turbo
We're
lift.
almost at the end.
You ready? Are you all ready?
Okay. Okay, now see what this
Guys
sign
ready?
says?
Slower down. We're going too fast.
This is the end of the story about the differences in the sets. Remember, I told you engineering is not where it's supposed to be. In the original sets, you walked through this door, you were in engineering. Just like dead on what we saw down there, but we had to put ours in a different place. So, more about that in a minute. The old Star Trek set, this was
Mickey, the actor that plays the captain on the show, is here. Maybe I'll get to show you what he looks by again.
and enough for him to continue looking like he's climbing up to another deck. This is a simple but really cool set room right here. This is the brig.
Oh, yeah.
The cool thing about this, from a design point of view on Star Trek, when you have it's a jail cell, right? So
Sorry.
when you have a jail cell.
It'll be better. Once the tour's over, we're able to walk around into the sets and we're going to take pictures and you can do little scenes and do things. So we're going to walk around and do that. But if you guys can get here, this is well worth it. And this is an active set. They do film here. One of the actors is here, the captain.
And and now you have a jail cell. But what do you not have?
So it's pretty cool. And
Well,
is it Jimmy Doohan? I think it's Jimmy Doohan's son. He comes here too and gives tours and does things. It's pretty cool.
Put in bars, and you don't have
Yeah, Scotty's son. He looks just like him.
You know, whether it's a guard that's supposed to be watching the guy.
I didn't do it. They are not coming from me.
You don't have any bars in the way. You just play the scene however you want. And then you put some coasters on the outside that are the activation lights from the force field. Some coasters here.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Did they actually use coasters? Probably. I mean, I don't know if they did or not, but this is what they look like.
Yeah, it looks like
So
it.
I don't know if they were coasters or not, but
It probably, so much of what they used was.
It's
just
so
stuff
basic.
they got everywhere, yeah.
look from a distance,
Yeah.
if you see the lights in it, it's like, yeah. But this is where the brig was on the original set. So when we filmed scenes going on in engineering, we did the green screen thing. You'd put a green screen behind this door, and when you show somebody going into engineering, you see them coming down the corridor. The sign says engineering, the door's open, and you see engineering because it's a green screen, and they CGI'd it in. Same thing if you show them going in.
Poor little Chantel.
The green screen outside engineering, so it shows a corridor. It shows this view right here that we CGI in when it shows them walking in engineering. Right.
No, this one's little chin. It hobbles around like she does.
This door and walked into that room.
Wow.
That's what it looks like. Okay, are you ready for the big finale?
Here we go. Our big grand finale, and then we're going to be able to walk around.
Well, we can go back and talk about the hangar bay.
And
You
here's
guys ready?
another.
Sure.
Is Roll Everby, honey?
Okay, come on in.
Okay, Mike.
The bridge.
Come all the way in.
Just don't, you just explain why it says what it says right there.
Step up, watch your step. Come on in.
Yeah, we call her Little Chantel because she waddles like she does in the desert. Oh, wow.
But you can download all these sounds. I mean,
Oh, shit.
all the sounds everywhere.
Oh, look at where everybody signed. The wall
Come
of
on in.
signatures.
Yeah, you guys come on in. Yeah, come on in.
I'm coming.
We made sure everybody has access.
I'm holding up everything.
Dude, that's your dream come true.
Now, this screen is just a recent addition. We just put this up Friday. We used to have a projector back there. This is the only place in the world that you're going to see a full-size view screen on a bridge set. If you go anywhere else that has a bridge, it's an 85-inch TV.
Oh, really?
That's not to scale.
Oh.
The view screen is 7 foot by 4 foot. Nobody else has this.
Nice.
Again, the flat panel TV was a cool idea, but 85 inch is not big enough. So we swapped from a projector. We can put anything we want on here now.
Oh,
And this
wow.
is just Friday night. We finished getting it installed.
Well, it's got to help when they're filming here and just mute it. Do they
And
use
what?
it when they're filming? Do they use
It
it?
haven't happened yet. We just put it in Friday. Now,
Oh, Friday,
the view screen has been here, but we had a rear projector that just shined it up onto a white sheet.
Yeah.
But now we have a regular TV. We can do anything we want. But you can film with it. You can interact with it.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, I can walk up. I don't have to CGI something.
Oh,
if I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
want to.
Right.
I can say on this planet, this spot here, blah, blah, blah. Or I can put stars on here.
Nice.
Or I can put a green screen on the TV and then CGI whatever I want in without having to hang a green screen over the opening. I can do that too. Here's where all those chairs went. Yeah. So, we talked about the Burt chairs. The captain's chair, very iconic, right? And this is in that book too. It's made by a company called Madison. It's a Madison Executive Office Chair. And if you look it up, you'll see the chair here, and it's just this chair with 4 legs that come out from underneath. So they sent a guy down. They knew they wanted a certain look. Captain's chair needs to look impressive. So they went, you know, this is probably something you would have sat in a dentist waiting room. Like that. Hospital waiting room, whatever. It's an executive office chair. Doesn't rock, doesn't do anything, it just sits there. So they buy it, they take the legs off, build this cradle, put some buttons in it. I always thought Captain Kirk's chair was about the most impressive thing I'd ever seen, was that chair. And I couldn't wait when I bought my bridge model to paint that little chair is because that chair was just everything to me when I was a kid.
Aw.
And it's a chair with some wood, they build a cradle and stick it in here. But it's pretty damn cool.
It is.
Yeah, Madison. I don't know what the model number is, but it's a Madison Executive Office chair.
Yeah, we have another chair that handled a lot too. We'd like to gotten the brand name of it.
Yeah.
That chair was amazing. It held
Now,
a
the
lot
one-
of weight.
The one Vic used for Star Trek Continues is in his house. He took his with him. All the buttons on that one. You hit the right button, the lights light up.
Huh.
Remember we talked about the rocker switches?
Oh, look.
Here's where they are.
It's like he's got one of the cards in there.
So these do switch.
Yeah, they also control things. You can turn on the, let's see, that's water, turn on my lights, turn on the
Look at
proximity
that.
alert. Over there, you can turn on the power over there. You can turn on the astrogator.
Now, those, from, like, the original ones they used.
These
Hold
are
on,
original
people.
rocker switches from that era.
I'm up here at the captain's chair. Hold on.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. I mean, and the ones you do find, it's usually expensive because everybody knows what they're used for. Everybody knows what these switches are used for. Couple of things about the bridge, design-wise. Notice that the elevator is not where maybe you think. I mean, everybody knows where it is on Star Trek, but from a design point of view, it seems weird that it's off filtered a little bit, right?
And
It's a design choice because
this is the doorway to come onto the bridge from the elevator.
a lot of filming on the bridge took place from over here or out front, and so you see your new characters walking onto the bridge for a scene. You see them come in. Captain Kirk has
Woo, I'm getting myself dizzy.
See who's here. He just has to do this, and you get a seamless kind of interaction with the characters. What wall would not have been here while filming?
That one. The front one.
You're both right. This would never have been here. If you went to Desilu, you would never, ever, hardly ever have seen this here. It would have been here one time. And that's at the beginning of the season or at the beginning of all filming. And what it would have been here for is they would have
Hold on, people. Work with me.
been here and taken about a minute of film right here. And incidentally, if you ever see that camera shot, well, not that one, the next
The one with Sulu?
This one. This is the view screen. And they cut. And they're going to come back here and take this for about a minute, except if you
Clean fupa time.
red railings, you'll notice they
It's
moved
fupa
in a
time
foot
on the set of Star Trek.
for some reason.
She's getting clean
You
for
know
the
they're wide
captain's
enough for
chair.
sets, but those things are so close together in this camera shot when you watch Star Trek. When they filmed that one,
He's scratching his head like, they're live cam. I can go watch her shower in.
film this one, and now you see these two guys sitting here, and there's that one you see Sulu turn around.
Yes.
Well, if you ever notice that, look at his hair, and look at his shirt. It's first season. He's got shorter hair. He's got the velour on, and if it's a third season episode where they're wearing the knit, it's a totally different shirt. And the guy sitting here is not Chekhov because that shot was done first season. Walter Koenig didn't join till season 2.
They used that shot
Who
with
was,
six or
who
eight
was the
different
gentleman
people
that was in
sitting
the
there.
first season?
I don't, who sat here? I don't know. Maybe it was Farrell. I don't
It was a
remember who
red
that
shirt.
But no, a gold shirt. But
But he was gone
But-
after that.
Yeah.
but you see his shoulder, and then the whole episode is Chekhov sitting there, except for this camera shot. Nobody thought about that back then. I never thought about it as a kid. You got this shot. Now you come back and you take this shot over the captain's shoulder, and you film that for about a minute. Now you wheel the view screen out. You're done with it. You don't need it anymore because you can't film the bridge if you're in the bridge. So that view screen's wheeled off, pushed away somewhere. The only exception, Doomsday Machine and Spock's Brain had scenes where somebody walked up in front of the view screen.
Yeah.
They put that map of the system in, and Chekhov was talking about which planet could support ion power or whatever.
Did they use the Doomsday Machine in the other auxiliary?
Do they what?
Is that where they filmed the bridge scene?
Yeah. For the auxiliary control, yeah.
Yeah.
Where they found Decker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So those two instances, you would have seen the view screen put in place for those episodes. Other than that, the whole season, practically all 3 seasons, it would have never been here. And you get this wide shot of the bridge. You have the crew, you have all the equipment back there, props that need to come in, whatever. You have all this space to do all the work you want.
Look at this.
I think it's the only time you actually get to see
Hey.
a walk around the entire bridge. They shot it in pieces.
I'm walking fast.
They use those
Work with me
pieces
here.
in the picture.
Yeah, they had
There's the ship.
yeah, it probably was these pieces.
Here's the elevator to come in
The
here.
funny thing about
And then you
Fox
got
station
this.
over here, a lot of times, you see, I'm gonna use this station, but let's pretend I'm Spock, okay? Well, let me let them finish.
I'll
Okay,
be-
Spock's looking at his viewer right here, right? And let's just say it's right here. But when they filmed these scenes, this station wasn't here, so Spock's was the last station there. But since I can't move this, we're gonna pretend it's this. Spock's looking in his viewer and his hand's down here.
Yeah.
Booty call.
Well, that's outside the set. Leonard Nimoy's hand is down here.
Ah,
I'll
Yeah,
have
we
to
don't
go back
touch it,
and look
yeah.
at that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have
Um,
to go back and look at that.
Yeah, you'll see Spock's hand down out, not Spock, Leonard Nimoy's hand. It's not Spock's
Yeah,
hand.
yeah.
It's Leonard Nimoy's hand. That's Leonard Nimoy's mistake. But you know what?
Happy little accidents.
Nobody cared. Nobody's gonna notice.
Well, I would have never noticed unless you
No,
said that.
no. Somebody turned off that.
I didn't touch it.
Some of the lights get turned off. That's okay. Spock's skin turned off. Yeah, that's all right. Doesn't matter.
Spock's with me right now.
Right.
There you go.
Do you have any questions about the bridge?
Is this like the scale? This is like the actual scale? Yeah.
It is.
Is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I know this is great.
No, hold it.
And did you see the sign over here on this side of the wall? You got the ship here. Ouch! Damn it! I just broke my nail.
And part of that is because the viewpoint
Oh my
you're
God.
seeing in a lot of that case is from back here.
I just broke my nail, dude. Broke it. Look at that.
Consider walking back here.
You see that? Murphy.
Doesn't it? So you guys can, you have any questions, anything I can answer them? Or?
I think it's great.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, we do. Let me tell you a couple of things. I know you probably maybe donated something at the door, but we do ask for donations from people, but we don't charge an admission price because we can't. We don't own Star Trek.
Oh,
The reason this is here is because people have come before you and donated, given to our Patreon to help support us. The guy that owns the building wants his rent, the electric company wants their payment. So we encourage you to, donate, help support us. If you can go on Patreon, we have a Patreon following. You can sign up, give $10 a month, whatever, something you won't miss. If you do that, there's certain behind the scenes things that you get as a Patreon member. You get a nice little pin, behind the scenes content, sneak peeks on films that we put out, things like that. But I encourage you, if this is something that you enjoyed, please consider helping support us. Because you're getting to do something that, you probably never thought in your young days would ever really get to happen.
well, this is great because we went to DC and we seen the Enterprise there.
See, I haven't done that yet.
Oh, you're gonna love it if
I
you go.
went and it was pulled. It was not. They were. Yeah, don't put it that.
Talk about Murphy.
It's all under
Talk about Murphy. He was with you that day.
But like I said, we appreciate anything anybody can do to help us out. We appreciate it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. You guys are free to go back through. The only thing that I'll say is if you're cycling back through to take pictures, if there's another tour coming through, we will.
You're welcome, Les. We're not done.
That y'all got, and then once they
Hold
pass
on.
through again, you're welcome to go
See
back.
the guy over there in the Chicago shirt?
Sit in any-
Hold on, I think he's the captain from the show. Hold on.
Any ladders. But go back through all the things. If you want a good bridge picture, take this picture from right here.
No, that is not him. That is a no. Hold on. Look at all the autographs from everybody that's been here.
But this is my Facebook picture of me sitting there with a non-Star Trek.
These are from the actors.
trying to get a ghost there, there you go. And then cut out all that, and then make your video with your more.
Michelle Nichols has been here. I think it was Michelle. They did this all volunteer. They come and they volunteered. If you guys look up and read about this place, you'll find out the history and who've been here. Then you can go watch the continuum. They do a really good job on that show. I like it. And I'm not into Trekkie, but
Yeah. Oh, okay. Guys, I'm gonna go take over the next tour. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. And again, feel free to go back and take pictures. The only thing we'll do is we'll shoot you out of the way for that tour to get that same unobstructed view, but you can filter around behind it.
I don't know if you all may know some of these people. I don't know.
Okay.
It goes all the way back there, but my fat ass can't fit. Okay. Here's some more. No, I don't think. Lou Ferrigno, I'm sure his signature's up here somewhere. All right, let's go look at the wet nut stuff. Oh, and look at this. It's like the black hole. That's the confessional. Here it is. Guys, you gotta go watch these. These are pretty good. It got me back into it. Isn't that great?
Patreon is. Yeah.
I guess it helps if I show you all, not the wall, right?
Right here. You need to get that.
Believe that,
Did you love that?
because of Brigham Young.
Him. He's here.
Yeah, of course we can.
Figures.
Hi,
Hi, hon. How are you?
good. Have you met Mr. Philo?
No.
This is Philo Barnhart. He's one of the animators who created Ariel and Ursula for Disney's Little Mermaid.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. He's also worked on several movies, including Star Trek: The Motion Picture. He's one of 4 animators that helped with the backgrounds and the effects.
Oh, cool.
And the animators were actually one of the last ones to work on the movie, and they were getting done just as the rap party started. So they get to the rap party late, so there's no place for them to sit. So
let me get to it.
there was an older guy up front yelling, "Hey, get over here and sit with us." Guess who that older guy said? Joe Roddenberry.
Oh, well, there you go.
He got to sit with Gene Roddenberry, Mansell Barrett, and Grace Lee Whitney at dinner at the rap party.
I don't know that one. I don't know the last one.
Grace Lee Whitney's the blonde on the original series. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
I gave Ariel her hairdo.
Oh. There it is.
Oh, nice.
Remember that hairdo?
Isn't that cool?
Just turned that blonde and that was Grace Lee.
You having a good time today?
Wow.
Sebastian's over here.
Oh my God, look at Sebastian.
Flounder's back here. Just above her.
Oh, there he is. Oh, I love it.
When I was little, I used to pronounce her name Uhura.
Oh,
They told you that Michelle Nichols did her last filming of anything here.
yeah. Yeah, well,
Taking Barry in documentary.
We actually knew
oh, really?
her office called the studios here and let them know that she passed, and the studios actually, my brother's the sound man there, so I knew 2-3 hours before the public knew.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
She's a beautiful woman.
oh, wonderful.
Beautiful.
I love her on the what was it, this movie? she's standing on top of the sand dune. She's singing in that silky thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And they
yeah.
all come up looking at her like, oh my God, oh my God. And then everybody jumps over with their guns pointing. He says, that's what it looks like.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah, it is. It just started playing.
Oh, don't you hate that? It does everything.
That's what it
Oh,
was.
look, there's Nichelle when she was here.
But she's dancing on the sand dune, and then everybody
Breaking
jumps over
Barrier.
with the guns and pointing
Breaking
at these
Barriers.
guys. And don't you love it?
you.
That's something I always wanted to do, perform before a captive audience.
Yeah, yep. And then she was singing. The one time she was sitting on the bridges, she was singing to somebody. I can't remember who, but I think it was the Mirror Universe. Yeah, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, I gotta go find my other half so I can get my pictures from.
Well, this is Vic Mignogna.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you.
He plays Captain Kirk on Star Trek Continuum.
Hey, everyone. That's Captain Kirk from Star Trek Continuum that they film and we watched. Remember I told you?
Yeah, you watched a little bit of it up front, right?
No, honey, I watched you at home. And watch this.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll probably,
He's card too.
Oh, look, you have to be. You have to have a sense of humor.
My son is a huge fan. My daughter-in-law just drew a picture for him. And I told him, I know the guy, right? Oh, you got it. Wow, I'm down here. I got him on video chat yesterday. I said, oh, by the way, somebody wants to say thanks for the picture. And I turned it over to him. And my son called me and says, you realize she's getting all red-faced and nearly passed out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I'm like, thanks, Vic. You just made my kids
You made the millennia.
Yeah.
You made her millennia.
Yep.
That's great.
Have fun.
All right, honey, thank you. All right, guys, well, let me see here. So, do you guys really want me to walk around and get stupid one here? Or would you rather wait and see the pictures? My poof's gone sideways. What do y'all think? This has been pretty good. Very nice, very cool. That guy, the Captain Kirk, he films here. That they've been shot here, the movies. He is El Capitan. So where you want to go? Alexa? Oh. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Where am I going? Oh shit, y'all can't see. A turbo lift. See, it's open back here. Wait a minute. It's open back here. But he said, like, when you watch the show, that if you stand here at this one, because you're supposed to hold on to these when the old turbo lift's going. You see, I got Spock one today. I don't know if you can see under my tits what it says. Live long and prosper. He is cute. He is cute. He's built too. He's got muscles if you're into the muscle thing. I personally am not. Oh, speaking of, he's practicing. Is that you? Is that you?
That's him.
Yeah. See, here he is. Look, guys. See. This is what he does on his day off.
I'm sorry. It's all right.
And there he is.
There's always plenty of room on the bridge for one more to keep stock in line.
Isn't that pretty cool? I know, not bad, is it?
Well, whatever this is about, it's gotta be pretty serious. For outside help. Permit race up here.
See, you want to go see where that hallway is? You want to go see where that hallway is? The hallway's out here. Want to go see it? Let's go for a walk. Let's go see that hallway.
Who's back?
That scene that you just saw. There it is. Okay. And that one's under that light. Pretty cool, huh? Go back into the conference room.
Gee, I hope your friend. It would be well served.
This has been fun. They're all down there gabbing. I'm walking around. Let's go to the transporter room. Ooh, let's go to the transporter room, everyone. Who's with me? Oh, hell. There ain't nobody in here to play with me. What the hell is this? Guys, I'm all alone. I can't go nowhere. I'm stuck here. I can't even beam my ass out of here. That's him. Look. Should I stand? Woo, it didn't break. Look, everyone, my skin. Oh. Yes, it is. Let me not trip and fall down the steps. It's really nice. Yeah. Go back to Doctor's Bay. Oh, I think somebody's using it. Hold on. It's the next door. This is so cool. Look. Walk in the hallways. Out of this world, baby.
Rolling out that damn thing, putting us back together. Greetings. Welcome, my friends, to Hyenas.
Look where I come back to. Anybody? Anybody?
To our world. I am Gillespie.
There's the mirror.
And this
Little
is
horror
Thales,
saw
our newly
Kirk
appointed
out there.
ambassador to the Federation.
You see, I told you they'd be hyenoid bipeds.
Look at
I
that.
must admit, I was expecting a tentacle or two.
And you must
Anybody
have
care to
met
join
that
me?
magnificent ship orbiting above.
James Kirk,
There's enough room.
captain of the United Starship Enterprise.
Anybody? Anybody?
This is my chief surgeon, Captain Leonard.
Come on, people, join me.
Pleasure to meet you both.
And my first officer, Commander Spock.
You're different from the others.
All right. Well,
Are you an Earth female?
Madam, my appearance differs from the others
Oh,
because I am
it's bouncy.
If our human
We get a little
females
bounce on it.
go extinct.
Oh, please forgive my foolishness. I apologize if I've caused any
All right,
offense.
everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to put up some shorts as I'm going through here and doing the whole family thing and all that. But thank you for joining me. I will see you guys later. Love y'all. Bye. Coming from the captain's quarters.
Kindness and
Bye-bye.
gratitude revealed by pure calculated reason. Remarkable.